Yeah, this is vibes and stuff. Check it out.
We're diving in where the world collide. Culture's gone it's a crazy ride. Music's pumping, food's on the plate. We're vibing here, let's celebrate. Vibes and stuff, we keep it real. Talking about the way we feel. From the beats to the love we share. Everything in between we care. Uncle Freezy vibing all night and all day. Big pizza, always something to say. Our main man in the cut, he is soul finger. DSJ always showing up as a soulful singer. Ron, Bully and Corey always being so thorough. Don't forget from that ain't rap Triborough.
It's vibes and stuff. Vibes and stuff.
Vibes and stuff, we keep it real. Talking about the way we feel. Talking about the way we feel. From the beats to the love we share. From the beats to the love we share. Everything in between we care. Everything in between we care. It's not just talk, it's how we grow.
It's vibes and stuff.
Life's a rhythm, we all move.
Vibes and stuff.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's number one Chief Rock Freezy in the place to be. Man, do we have one for y'all. The greatest video games of all times. And we are going to do it tournament style. Tournament style. Right? In the house, we got the creator of the That Ain't Rap podcast. Bro, I watched the show from last night like 2 times again. And yo, it's like 5 hours. It's playing right now, I think.
It's long, yo. Y'all did your thing, man. Like, that's why I love having conversations like that, because we just come on and then lose track of time, and it'd be a whole debate about Big Daddy Kane or Wu-Tang Clan. So
Right. Yeah, man. And so the thing with the conversation is it's not just about the topic itself, which
Right.
I think a lot of people get wrapped up in. It's about perspectives.
Yeah.
And an emotion, how you feel. It's about where the topic. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We'll apply it for today, though.
Mm-hmm.
Today, we are going to crown the greatest video game of all time. And we're not just going to go by opinion. We're not going to go by, yo, Heck is in the building. Salute, Project Nerd HQ is in the building. Salute to my guy. That's my brother right there. Keep doing your thing, bro. I see you out there in them streets. I see Heck out there in them streets, man. I see you. Chef NYK is in the building. Salute.
Salute.
Yeah, man. Heck out there doing humongous things, man. Man, proud, man. We proud in here. Man, proud of Heck, bro. Man, wish nothing but success. Today, we are going to break down the greatest video game of all time, and I'm going to let the audience view the board. Wow! This is that's the top 16, right? That's the top 16. Here it's wow!
Oh, you wasn't playing, like you was really doing these matchups, man.
Bro, oh my God. Yo, this is gonna be crazy. This is gonna be crazy to try. For the record, full disclosure, I have no idea who the winner is gonna be. Everybody, I don't know.
I can't even tell you right now. Just looking at some of these matchups, man, it's gonna be hard to pick.
It's gonna be. some heartstrings up here. I ain't gonna lie. I got some
Hmm.
secret heartstrings up here that
Yeah.
I think they might lose just because of the impact and size of like the other games, bro.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
let me ask you this before we get started.
Uh,
I want to ask you this: what does video games like? What has video games meant to you?
that's a huge part of my childhood growing up. Like, starting off with like the little handheld games, and then 'cause like I was born like after the Atari era, so
Yeah,
I didn't play Atari till like years later. But like the handheld joints we used to have in the '80s, I had started off with that, like the Donkey Kong and Pac Man, and then Nintendo's the original NES was like the first system I ever bought got for Christmas
right.
in 1989, I think that was. And that was like, I was happy. That was like one of my favorite Christmas presents, just getting that, and then getting the Super Mario Brothers with Duck Hunt set, and then going off later to like Toys R Us with my mom, and buying some games. And that's what I took with my Christmas money. I'm like, yo, I didn't get Mike Tyson's Punch Out for Christmas. I got to get it at Toys R Us.
Yep.
And it started from there, just having like a little Nintendo collection. And then when Super NES comes out, I get that in like '96.
Right.
And then it was like from each system, PlayStation comes out, I get that, and PS2, and then Xbox, and still playing on Xbox One, and the PlayStation, some of the PlayStation systems of the past. I played with like friends and family, and
Right.
that's always been part of my life was gaming. And just to see like a lot of like films now, come out based on like some of my favorite games. Super Mario Brothers
It's
movie did well, and the Resident Evil series, and now we got Last of Us as a HBO show, and it's come a long way from like Pac-Man to like where it's at now, where a lot of the games look like actual films or actual. It's like you're watching TV,
bro.
and it's been great, man. It's a great evolution of gaming, and I hopefully I want to see where it goes in like the next 20 years, and where they take gaming. It looks like it's going more into like the virtual stuff, and the online gameplay, and streaming, and it's been fun.
I think I'm the same experience, except I started with Pong. You remember Pong, the little paddles? Once
Yeah, I
you
remember. Yeah,
so I started there, right? I remember playing Pong, and I thought it was changing the world because anybody that have any ounce of competitive juice in them, video games can be
right.
addictive, right? Anybody that has any competitive juice or drive in them, a video game can be addictive.
Hmm.
And so I think my journey started in earnest with um, Pong on the computer,
Right.
right? Like you just hit the up and down arrows. I think that's where it started.
Yeah.
And then I remember being in the arcade. You Pitfall. Yeah, hey Chef NYK, you remember Pitfall for ColecoVision? Yeah, yeah. But there were some games that didn't make it. Tekken didn't make it. Tomb Raider didn't make
Hmm.
it. Cubert didn't make it. Dig Dug didn't make it. Like when you have 32 games, man, you got when you're trying to go with the most iconic,
Yeah.
bro. It's like, yeah, it's a lot of games didn't make it, but what I feel like the list has represents the best 32 games, right? There
Yeah.
are the Def Jam game didn't make it.
Oh yeah,
Parappa
Vendetta.
the Rapper didn't make it. Um,
Hmm.
Capcom versus was it Capcom
Marvel.
Marvel didn't make it.
Ah man, that's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, me too, me too. But the list here is a mix of the most iconic and most popular games ever created,
Right.
right? Um, So let me do this. Let me do this. Are you ready to begin?
Yeah.
You ready to start? All
Mm-hmm.
right. So we won't start at the top up here with the Legend of Zelda versus Call of Duty, right? What we'll do it traditional style. Donkey Kong versus Castlevania.
I gotta definitely go with Donkey Kong. I played Castlevania, but I wasn't a huge fan until like later. But Donkey Kong, like I grew up playing Donkey Kong and just trying to save the princess. And when you're like Super Mario is in that game and you have to evade like the barrels that Donkey Kong would throw at you and then climb the ladder and it was so much fun. And then like playing like the Donkey Kong Country on Super Nintendo and the Diddy
Classic.
Kong and all that. And
Yeah.
yeah, you know what I mean? So yeah, I gotta go with Donkey Kong.
The chat says Donkey Kong. You say Donkey Kong, and I'm
Yeah.
also gonna say Donkey Kong.
Oh
Right?
yeah.
I'm gonna say Donkey Kong because Donkey Kong was legit one of the first games that I ever played where I
Hmm.
felt like there is an element of fear here. Right? There's an element of
Yeah.
fear. Like all the other games you played before, like Pong, you ain't worried about that. You play
Hmm.
Pong, you lose, you be mad. Oh well.
Right.
Donkey Kong had a big scary villain, right? And the name
Yeah.
of the game was not named after the hero, by the way.
Hmm.
The name of the game is named after the villain, right?
Right.
And the
Right.
hero of the game will go on to have his own success in
His
other
own game.
areas, right?
Yeah.
We didn't even know. All we knew was the kid's name was Mario, and he
Right.
looked funny. He didn't look like Christopher Reeve and all that.
Right.
He looked like a old fat plumber, that was trying to save his girl.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Yeah, man. Oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna hold you. I kind of hope Donkey Kong wins it all.
Really?
That's my bias.
Okay.
That's my bias. I don't know if it'll happen, but from a old head perspective, I hope the
Hmm.
arcade one of the arcade games wins, like the ones you used to go in the arcade and play. I kind of hope one
Yeah.
of them wins. But
Yeah.
yeah, man. All right, Tetris versus God of War.
Okay. Damn. I'm going with God of War. Tetris. I did play Tetris, but I wasn't like that was like a huge thing when that dropped for the NES back then, and I remember people, um, kids at school were playing it. It came on the Game Boy as well, and I played it, but I wasn't like a huge fan of it. But God of War, I did play for the PS2. And even with that gaming franchise, like they're developing a movie for it now, finally, and it's come a long way. I definitely love the graphics for that, the gameplay, the main character in the story. So I got to go with God of War.
Let me ask you this, just to see
Hmm.
if you have a bias, and I'm saying it's in a fair and respectful way, just to see if you have a bias.
Right.
Was the PS2 your favorite gaming system?
Uh, all time, it's up there. I feel like that might have been like, as far as the gaming catalog, probably my favorite. But I gotta go with Xbox 360 because I really had a
Oh,
lot of fun playing that system like 20 years ago, and a lot of different games for that, especially like Rock Band and Guitar Hero. Like those games,
oh,
it really opened up my taste to like more rock bands that I wasn't listening to back in the day. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. I don't think it's the favorite game system, but it's one of my favorites.
right. I'm gonna say the reason why I ask is because I have a bias, and my favorite gaming system is the PlayStation 2.
Hmm.
And so, understanding my bias, I'm gonna try to be as neutral as I can in order to be fair to these great games.
Hmm.
But man, the PS2 had games like the Tony Hawk game, Um,
Yes, I have Skate 3. I still got Skate 3 for the Xbox 360.
wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Hmm.
That the NBA Street. Remember NBA Street?
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Volume 2.
Oh,
That
for
was
the
my joint. Volume 2.
for the PS2. Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, bro.
Yeah.
The soundtrack,
The soundtrack was crazy. I love
crazy,
it, man.
crazy,
Yep.
crazy. And I hate that Tony Hawk or NBA Street Volume 2 didn't make it. But when you're talking about the greatest of the great of all time,
Hmm.
everybody can't be here,
Right.
you know. But God of War or Tetris, I'm so split right now, bro. I love God of War. I love God of War on Xbox 360. I think
Right.
that's the greatest version of God of War. Like when you get on the ship, and
Hmm.
the only way you can win, there was a ship battle in God of War. I think it might have been the original God of War. Might have been
Yeah.
on Xbox 360, I think. Man, there's a scene where you're on a ship and you have to press the triangle button in order to get the chain thing to go around. But the villain is so close that when you swing it, you swing wild, and the chain thing goes way outside, and he just
Right.
be beating you up straight up the middle. And you
Hmm.
like, do I back up into all these bad guys I passed, or what do I do? And come to find out, you gotta beat the bad guy off the hands, no
Yeah.
weapon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it take you legitimately like 3 minutes. Yo, your thumbs are so worn out after that, bro. And your thumbs be so worn out after the battle thing, bro. You can't even text on your phone, bro. You gotta
Right.
text using your finger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
So Tetris reminded me, like I had Dr. Mario. I don't if people remember Dr. Mario. That
yeah,
that game was similar, except for like with Tetris, you were building the blocks, and for Dr. Mario, you had to like get rid of like the viruses or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, Tetris was a great game. I didn't play a lot of it though. I played it sometimes, but God of War definitely that was like one of my favorites on PS2.
I'm torn, man. Golly, man. I, fe- I feel Tetris was so great when it came
Uh-huh.
out. Tetris was a craze.
Yeah.
God of War wasn't a craze because there was a lot of great video games. I think one of the
Hmm.
great video games that was out at the time was a game
Right.
called two more games that are on this list, right?
Hmm.
One of them is a game called Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
right? Grand Theft Auto Liberty City, I think, was out when the first God of War came out. I think
Hmm.
I may be wrong, right? And I'm not saying God of War wasn't great. I was just thinking, like, when Tetris came out, Tetris was it.
Yeah.
When God of War came out, God of War was dope. The graphics was dope.
Hmm.
But when I'm thinking, like, do I play God of War or do I play um, Assassin's Creed?
Ah man, that's another game I played too.
That you know what I'm saying? You feel me?
Yeah.
And so when I think I might lean towards Tetris
Hmm.
just because God of War couldn't separate itself from Halo and Assassin's Creed and those type of games. I think when Tetris came out, I gotta go Tetris because it was a trendsetter. It was a totally
Right.
different type game, right? What does the chat say? The chat says, I so try you outvoted on this one, man.
Ah man.
But I respect where you coming from, bro, because I am
Yeah.
absolutely with you on it, bro. I agree with your opinion on it. But man, all right,
Yeah.
here's one that's not even fair.
Mhm.
Mortal Kombat versus the Pokemon series.
It's Mortal Kombat, definitely. I mean, I played that in the beginning when it was an arcade game,
Yeah,
and then playing it like on the first PlayStation. Actually, I had like the trilogy,
yeah,
and then like the other games on PS2, and then Xbox later on, and Xbox One, and it's still going. Like they're still making games for it. They're making they've made movies. They're making another sequel for it. And it's a long last. It's to me, it's like the best. That and Street Fighter are like the two best fighting games to me all time. You
Right.
know, Pokemon was a craze too. Like I used to watch like the Pokemon tune back in the 2000s, and you
Yeah.
know they've had their games and movies and. But I mean, when it comes to like fighting games, it's definitely Mortal Kombat all day.
Bro, this one is tough. I was never into Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z or anything like that, right?
Right.
And so I do have to respect Pokemon. I was
Hmm.
at work one day and my boss called out. Right, I worked with this dude for like 4 years, right? He'll never call
Right.
out. Never.
Right.
He will have doctor's appointments all the way up to like 4:15 and
Hmm.
he go to work at 4:30 and work till 8 o'clock. That's the type of worker he was. But he called me one day and said, "Hey, hold it down in the office." This is an older white guy, probably in his 70s, I would say.
Right.
I worked with him about 2 or 3 years, and he told me, "Hey, hold it down in the office. This Pokemon craze has got my family going nuts," and hung up the phone. And you know how you look at the phone like you can't believe what you just heard?
Right. Yeah.
Like think of the most hardcore right wing 70-year-old white guy, khaki wearing Kmart shirt to work guy you ever seen. The type of guy that doesn't worry about how the car looks. He worries about if it can last and the gas mileage. Is the car
Right.
insurance wrong? That type of guy,
Hmm.
right? That
Wow.
type of guy. The type of guy that only smokes cigars on special occasions. That guy,
Yeah.
right? Call me on the phone. Hey, Uncle Freezy. Yeah, that's me. Hey, hold it down in the office today, man. Um, this Pokemon craze thing has got my family going crazy, and hung up the phone.
Mhm.
And I'm looking at the phone like, hey man, what just happened to me, bro? Somebody pranking me. I look at the number on the phone, it's his number.
Wow.
Like his number, like his it was him. It's saved in my phone,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And so Pokemon craze, and no, like this was like 2016, I think,
Hmm.
where you could walk around with your phone or whatever, and Pokemon people would just show
Yeah.
up somewhere. And
Hmm.
I
I
was like,
remember
yo, this is crazy. Right now, the thing about that, the thing about that is the separate because I want to choose Pokemon over Mortal Kombat. Right, I
that. Mm.
want to. But in fairness to the conversation, was the craze about a very good game, like where the characters original, right?
Right.
The gameplay dope. Where could you unlock stuff? No, Pokemon
Hmm.
was already a craze before the video game.
Right.
Right? Pokemon was already some. Mortal Kombat was a video game that started the craze off the video game characters, and for that,
Yeah.
I got to go with Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah. And then the characters, like the characters had their own personality.
Yeah,
Ken and Ryu and Blanca and Vega. They all had their a personality about them. So you can immediately, like, once you say their name, you know who it is and their strengths and weaknesses, and that's what made fighting games so great. Like
man, you talking about
Street
Street
Fighter as
Fighter?
well.
You talking about Street
I'm
Fighter
talking about Street Fighter, but Mortal Kombat, like
with Scorpion?
Scorpion, and Sub Zero, and
Yeah, yeah,
Smoke and Sector, and it had like their own personality, like just like Street Fighter, they had their own personality, and I think that's why like they were so great because like people had their favorites. We would get into like debates about like who was the best fighter, who was the weakest fighter, and it was great, man. Yeah, definitely gotta go with Mortal Kombat on that. Chef, who you picking? What you got? You got Mortal Kombat or you got Pokemon? You lost Unk. Man, it's gonna be tough. Definitely
Oh,
Mortal
man,
Kombat.
package finally came. Yeah, I gotta go with Mortal Kombat on that one, bro. I ain't gonna front.
Yeah, for sure. Like and they got cartoons and I think Pokemon, like you said, Pokemon was already a craze when it got here. And then it just took off in America. But like Mortal Kombat was like a game that we all loved to play that just started a craze. So
Right, right. Yeah, man. And the thing about Mortal Kombat 2 or also is the way that you finished your competitors. Just to
yeah,
hear
yeah,
like
the
you're
fatality.
doing the fight and then the fatality part come up and the dude's like finish him. And you're like,
Yeah.
yo,
Hmm.
that's dope. Not only do I get to win, I get to destroy you too.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Then they would add
Glory.
for the download content, they would add like Michael Myers and Freddy and all that, Jason Voorhees, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's what made it even more fun. We could play with the horror icons, and it was crazy.
Bro, on um what did we have? Was it the Xbox?
Hmm.
It was the Xbox One, I think.
Hmm.
The Mortal Kombat came out, the latest version, and I was like, yo,
Yeah,
what? This is crazy.
yeah, man.
This is crazy, bro. I mean, but anyway, for the sake of time, I just got a thing, man. I just got an alert from the job, man. So now I gotta get back to it. But I'm gonna
Ah,
finish this up. I'm gonna just finish this up real quick with you, man, so we can have
okay.
some content out here, man. So here's the thing: Street Fighter versus Spider Man.
Mhm. Well, what I mean, are we talking about all the Spider-Man games or just one?
Yep. And all the Street Fighter games.
I gotta go with Street Fighter definitely because I mean I've only played like one or two Spider-Man games, but like Street Fighter, I played all of them. Like that was like I was saying earlier, like with all the characters, Chun Li and Ken and Ryu, it was just great. The gameplay was great. The graphics, that also has a following, and yeah, I gotta go with Street Fighter for that one.
You going with Street Fighter, bro?
Yeah.
Man, oh my gosh. The Spider-Man series is dope, bro. I ain't gonna front.
Spider-Man? Okay.
Spider-Man series is dope. I ain't gonna front. Now I'm not going with Spider-Man. Now that's not what I'm saying. I'm thinking out loud.
Mhm.
I'm thinking out loud.
Right.
Um, dang man, Spider-Man is fire, bro.
Yeah.
Spider-Man, man, my boys still play Spider-Man to this day. The latest Spider-Man, bro, is so in
Uh,
depth. The world is
right.
so immersive. It's crazy,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. I mean, I've only played like I said, like I played I forgot, I think it was Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2, but I didn't play a lot of like a lot the games that I played that they had Spider-Man in it, like Ultimate Alliance and
Right.
Marvel vs. Capcom and games like that. But I didn't really gravitate to like the Spider-Man game because a lot of them were like based off of the movies, and I love the movies. I just didn't play like the games that was based on the movies like that.
Right, right, right. No, I feel you. I feel you. I'm gonna go with Street Fighter on that one,
Mhm.
just because I'm a Street Fighter fan. I think
Yeah.
Street Fighter may be a game that wins it all. I think they're a contender.
Hmm.
This bracket here, though, boss,
Oh man.
is crazy. Now we're gonna go with the inside here. We're gonna go with the inside here. We went with the outside on the bottom, and we'll go with
Uh,
the inside here just to fill in the bracket. All right.
uh,
Halo versus Mega Man.
it's Halo for me. I have the Halo collection, the Master Chief collection.
Right.
There's still games that I haven't finished in that collection.
Right.
But just playing like Halo 2 and Halo 3 was like one of my favorites, and um it was crazy. Like again, that's another franchise where they made like a streaming series out of.
Yeah.
Mega Man. I played Mega Man way back in the day, but I didn't gravitate to Mega Man like Halo. And Halo to me was like one of my favorites, like RPG games of all time on the Xbox 360. And you know, it's I love the gameplay, the score for the game. You know, the graphics. It was just ahead of his time. You know, and you know, Master Chief, a great character.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oof. All right. Pac-Man versus MLB The Show.
Ah man,
God,
man.
who made this list? They're a
Yes, you.
psycho.
I'm going with baseball because I've played baseball when I was young. I love baseball. I love to play the game and watch baseball. And Pac Man was dope, and I know it has a following, but I got to go with MLB to show the accuracy of you know of the plays and the game stats and the graphics and just the gameplay. Like it's to me it is the best baseball game of all time. And you know I've played other baseball games in the past, but it's definitely like the best one to me.
Full disclosure, MLB The Show might be my favorite video game of all time. That and Final Fantasy,
Oh,
right? And so
okay.
I'm gonna go with MLB The Show here because I think starting out as a high schooler and working your
Mhm.
way up through double A and then triple A and then to the majors, when you don't touch
Yeah,
the settings, the struggle is real.
yeah,
The difference, though, but the difference between Pac-Man and MLB is that on MLB there are pay windows, paywalls where you can improve your player just by paying some money. Pac-Man, you just got to get your skills up,
that.
right? Pac-Man, you just got to get your skills up. I'm gonna
Hmm.
go MLB The Show, but I'm just gonna say this to everybody, right? I'm gonna say this to everybody, right? The paywall thing is a real no go for me. And when we start talking about the greats of the great, if the if the paywall thing is part of the conversation, it's a negative for me,
Right.
right? If the game only improves if you pay money, that's
Yeah,
be a detriment for me.
yeah.
All right, here's one that I didn't want to do: Grand Theft Auto versus FIFA Soccer.
I'm gonna tell you. I played GTA. Some of those games. I was not a fan of Grand Theft Auto. I was not a fan.
What?
I know that comes as a shock. I don't know. Like a lot of people love the game. I couldn't get into the game for some reason. Like I don't know if it was the way it was, the settings for it, or I don't know. I played it a couple times. I just was like I couldn't get into it though. You
Man,
know, it has a cult following, and I know there's the next one's coming out next year, and but I love soccer. You know, my grandfather, rest in peace, he got me into like you know watching soccer with him and the World Cup every 4 years, and you know the international friendly games, and you know FIFA soccer is another. That's like well, really like the only official soccer game that's on point, and they
right.
have like all the teams from the different leagues and the national teams, and I love playing FIFA soccer. You know, I think it doesn't get talked about enough when it comes to like sports games, like with Madden and with NBA 2K. But if you love soccer and you want to play with like your favorite you know, a national team or whatever, I think FIFA soccer is the best soccer game.
Um, I ain't gonna front, bro. I think um, FIFA soccer is cumbersome to play,
Hmm.
right? I think you have to have FIFA soccer. To me, is one of those games that when you jump on it, you have to already know how to play it, which
Yeah,
bothers me. That bothers me. I
yeah,
think you should be able to jump into a game and have fun with it at first.
right.
It's one of those games like you trying to pass the ball over here, he passed the ball over there, the other team get it, they go down and score, and then now you
Hmm.
like, oh, what just happened? Oh, they just scored. Okay, it's one
Yeah,
nothing. Oh, easy. I just get that. I just get that goal back and blow them out 12 to one. Wrong,
right.
wrong. You have to work the ball. It's a lot. Now
Yeah.
I know that's what soccer is about.
Hmm.
I just think the versions of FIFA that I played, and I play them. I play FIFA probably about every 3 or 4 years.
Right.
I just think the game is cumbersome. I'm gonna go with Grand Theft Auto on this one. What's the
Okay.
chat say? What's the chat say? The chat says, "Oh, the chat."
Chef
Grand Theft.
Chef got GTA.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Grand Theft Auto is to me for our culture, bro. Like
Hmm.
I'll go watch a video on YouTube, like a song, and I'll see
Yeah.
people in the comments like Grand Theft Auto got me here. I'm like, yo, you heard this song on Grand Theft Auto? Okay. Introducing our music to a whole generation of fans who would never have discovered it unless they played the video game.
Right.
You know.
That's true.
So, um, how are you feeling about NBA 2K versus Space Invaders?
It's NBA 2K, man. I mean, that's the best basketball game we have. I mean, I grew up on like NBA Jam and
Yeah,
NBA Live,
yeah.
and then 2K came out and it really changed the whole
Destroyed,
thing. Like when
destroyed.
that was on, yeah, when that was on Sega and playing that on Sega and then like on
Oh, you talking
Dreamcast
about
and
you
then
about the Dreamcast? Oh my god!
yeah, when it was on the Dreamcast and playing that and then later on PS2 and then Xbox. Yeah, like it was more accurate than NBA Live. Like NBA Live would come out, and then you look at the roster, and then the roster wasn't current, and then they
Right,
had to like end up like later on, they you would go online and then they would update the roster. But when you bought 2K, it was everybody was there. You didn't have to create a play or anything. You know what I'm saying? They had the real time stats and
right,
the gameplay was good. The announcing, the soundtracks for a lot of those games were great, and I still play, and I have like some of my favorites from like over the years, and I think 2K is definitely the best.
right, right.
Chef,
Um,
Chef said you're forgetting the best game ever.
I think
There's
the
a
best.
lot of games that's not on this list.
Yo, I think the best game ever is on this list, and
Okay,
and and we'll probably talk about it in a few moments.
yeah.
All right. Um. All right. Final Fantasy versus The Sims.
Oh man, The Sims. I played The Sims once, and it was like playing. It was like they made a game based on your life. Like it was like
Yeah.
you're living your life, and then you're on a game where you can like do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of weird, but I never played for. I used to have like the Final Fantasy the game guide for
Right.
part one,
Yeah.
but I never played a Final Fantasy. And I always like heard about the game, but it never was like a game that really like interested me to play. Because
Right.
there's like so much going on in those games, and and then like later on, a lot of those games got delayed to like for years, and
Yeah.
I never played a Final Fantasy game.
Because the worlds were so in depth. The worlds were so deep, immersible.
Right?
Like, you can legit
Yeah.
spend like 4 days on a certain stage and not be frustrated, but just walking around doing stuff, interacting. And then you like,
Yeah.
oh snap! I forgot. I didn't come here to be in a beer drinking contest. I came here to find an amulet so I can go. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
to to me, Final Fantasy is the best role-playing game ever, and that's including The Legend of Zelda,
Wow.
right? To me, when it comes to RPGs,
Mm,
Final Fantasy. I remember I used to play no lie. So not Soulfin, I'm sorry, Triborough.
yeah.
There was a time in '98 where legit I used to go to work all
Mm,
night, right? Get up 6 o'clock in the morning, stop by the joint, pick up my wife some breakfast because she was, she had company, so didn't have no energy to get up and move around. She had company. She was having twins,
right.
right? And so and so I used to get her like a big breakfast, right? Get all her medication, all that stuff, put it by the bed. And
Mm,
I had a 2-year-old at the time, and he used to be like, Poppy, you gonna play? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to play um, Final Fantasy, and I'll put Final Fantasy in the PlayStation, and and this is gonna make you laugh. I took um, a chance on a group that you and I love, right? I
right.
took a chance and bought an album called Murder Music, right, by Mobb Deep. And
Mm,
I would put that thing in and crank that thing up as loud as it can go. That's when
wow.
everybody used to have homes. Remember when everybody used to have home systems, home
Home system.
stereo?
Yep.
And I would put the headphones on, right? Oh no, 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 wait. No, I would put murder music on and keep it low, not disturb my wife,
Right.
right? And me and my son, 2 years old, will legit play Final Fantasy and listen to murder music until about 12 o'clock in the daytime.
Mm,
12 o'clock, right? Just straight up, just playing like 5 straight hours of Final Fantasy before I had to go to sleep and get up and go back to work the next night, right? On the days that I have off, I would legit spend
mm,
about 30 hours on Final Fantasy just going through the worlds because it was a 3 disc game,
yeah.
right?
I remember.
And so Final Fantasy to me, every time I think about Final Fantasy, I think about the babies. They grown now, like legit. Them twins that I'm referring to, man, they
Mm,
all now living in different cities, living their best life.
wow.
And I remember just taking care of all of them playing Final Fantasy. So
That's great.
Final Fantasy to me is like a game that kind of got me through it.
Yeah, that's dope.
Um,
That's dope. That's,
Next competition: World of Warcraft versus Batman.
oh, Batman. Definitely. I played Batman first on the Nintendo system, and then when they used to come out with Arkham Asylum, that series, playing that on the 360 was fun, and then just seeing like the different storylines they had, and I mean Batman has always been one of my favorite superheroes of all time. So anything with Batman, like the movies, I love the soundtracks, and it's definitely a great character from DC, and a great games that they used to have.
Wow, wow. I'm gonna say I'm gonna go Batman over World of Warcraft,
Mm,
and I'm not gonna say I think World of Warcraft is a better video game, right? The
okay.
video gameplay is better. The thing I don't like about World of Warcraft is the weird community. Like it's a bunch of weirdos on those servers.
Yes.
Like it's they weird, bro. Like strange. Like
Yeah.
yeah, and so I like World of Warcraft, but you walking around and you'll see somebody level such and such and such, and you trying to dust
Hmm.
them, and they dust you up and take all your stuff. Now you
Right.
start going over, it's a challenge. I'm like, but
Yeah,
but
I
it
never played it. I've only heard of. I remember when they had the movie that came out for that, but I never played the game.
yeah. World of Warcraft, I think, is definitely a top 32 game. All
Mm,
the, I think it's a top 32 game all time. I just think that the community for it is mad OD. Like
yeah.
weirdos, like this is like right at the Facebook era too.
Hmm.
Like Facebook, World of Warcraft, where you get to see people and you like, ew,
Yeah.
this one I'm playing, ew. Like it's mad creepy. Like you ever heard the saying, living in your mom's basement and blah 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 blah. That's where that come from.
Right.
World of Warcraft community.
Man.
I saw the World of Warcraft episode on South Park, which
Mhm.
which at some point, man, I want to do a top cartoons of all time tournament style thing.
Okay.
South Park is
South Park. That's your
uh,
favorite?
no, it's not my favorite. I think my favorite cartoon
Oh,
is probably I want to say Thundercats.
oh yeah.
I want to
That's
say
that's one of
Thundercats.
mine. That's like top 5 for me.
Yeah, and not just because of the first Thundercats, but I'm talking about the iteration that came out in the later 2000s,
Right,
where
right, yeah.
Lionel legit has real world adult problems.
Yeah.
That's one I kind of
Hmm.
yeah, man. Um, let's see, where are we? We just did World of Warcraft. Okay. Let me see. Let me look up top. They got 4 up there, 6 down here. Skyrim versus Metroid. To me, this is easy. To me, this
I
is
got Metroid. I played Metroid once on Nintendo, but I never like played the other games. Skyrim I never played. I know about Skyrim, but I never played it.
classic, bro.
Is it?
Classic, classic.
Okay.
It's a role playing game,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's classic, bro. Red Dead Redemption versus Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero, definitely. Cause
Get
I,
this
I think
wrong, bro.
I played Red Dead. I used to have Red Dead on the original Xbox
Right.
and played it a couple times, but like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, like those games are so innovative. Like
Yeah.
for people that they didn't if you didn't really know about like a lot of the rock bands, and then like having to actually play the notes for those bands, and it's endless fun, and I actually took guitar lessons when I was younger, so it was a lot easier for me to learn the notes for a lot of those like iconic songs, and having the actual songs from like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Soundgarden,
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins in the game. It made it a lot of fun. And then there's like a part where when you do the story mode and you got to go on tour
Yeah.
and start your own band, and then when you go to like different gigs and
Yeah.
different cities, you collect
And
money for
they rate you and all this stuff. And you go,
yeah,
oh, yeah, it's fire, bro.
you upgrade your wardrobe and your instruments, and I loved it, man. I think Guitar Hero is definitely a classic game.
Yeah, man. I think Guitar Hero is dope because it's one of the first video games that you can just put out. If you have
Yeah.
like a party or a gathering, you could just queue
Hmm.
up Guitar Hero, and people will just
Yeah.
go over and play Guitar Hero at the party. Like yeah, like when you know how you
Yep.
have house functions or whatever, right? You can
Right.
just put out Guitar Hero over on a table, and people will just gravitate to it and play it. And
Yeah.
sometimes just to listen to music,
Yep.
hear certain songs and all of that. And people compare like,
Yeah.
have you beat the Red Hot Chili Pepper song yet? You're like, no, I ain't got there. They on the game? Yeah, it's on the game. It's on levels. And it's like the conversations.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna go with
Yeah. Like I said, like it like just playing that game for years, and it really opened up my taste to like a lot of those rock bands that I wasn't really listening to.
right, right, right. Um, Madden or Uncharted?
Oh, Madden. Come on, Madden. Definitely Madden. That's the best football game all time to me. Madden. I mean, every year I play Madden. Like it's not a year that goes by that I don't play, man. Like I have a lot of my favorites from like the 2000s. When they had Michael Vick on the cover for '04 and
Yeah,
Donovan McNabb, and when Brett Favre came back out of retirement and he went to the Jets, and then you had to like they literally put I think Favre like on waiver so that you can put him on the Jets, and man, like yeah, I have too many stories about Madden. Like it's definitely Madden for me.
right. I'm not gonna front, bro. It's Madden for me, but Uncharted is fire. The only separator with Uncharted is You remember that group of games I said came out at the same time? God of War,
Mm.
Assassin's Creed, Uncharted. That group of
Yeah,
games. None of
yeah,
the games, all of them were great, but none of them stood out. Right?
right.
It's like it's like late '80s hip hop, right? Where there
Mm,
were a lot of great acts, but nobody reigned supreme over the entire group, right?
right.
Depending on who you like, whether you like Boogie Down Productions or if you like the Tribe Called Quest, like
Yeah,
you could legit not say BDP was better than a Tribe Called Quest, right? You could probably say
right.
if that's your preference, but what I'm saying is no group dominated that that era, so to speak, and that's the thing. That's the
Mm,
reason why I have to leave Uncharted where it is.
okay.
All right, so here's one that I think is going to be one that's not fair. Super Mario Brothers versus Far Cry.
Ah, man, it's Mario, Super Mario all day. Like that was the first game I played for Nintendo. You know, finishing part one and playing it over and over, and then part two comes out, and then part three is my favorite all time. I think part three was the best one.
Part
But like all of those Mario games, Mario Kart for GameCube was a classic, and they had Mario Tennis and the Super Strikers, and
and Super
you
Mario
know,
Kart, a fan favorite. Super
yes,
Mario Kart,
definitely. That's that they just came out with the new one. The new one looks great too for the Switch, and yeah, I love all the Mario games. I think there's some underrated ones than others, but like when we talk about like the main one, like it's Super Mario all day for me.
bro. I'm gonna go with Super Mario Brothers here. No disrespect
Mhm.
to Far Cry, but I'm gonna go with Super Mario Brothers. And the reason why I'm gonna do that with Super Mario Brothers is for the first time ever in a video game,
Mhm.
I started listening to the music that was playing.
Right.
When I first started playing Mario Brothers, you know how the scenes start, and you
Yeah.
can't wait to hear that part. Dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun dun
Dun, dun,
dun
dun,
dun.
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah, and
I
and
love it.
and every time you get in trouble, the dun 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 dun. You know what I'm saying? You like, you
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? All these different things. It's crazy. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. But the thing about it is, we just set up Grand Theft Auto versus Madden and Super Mario Brothers versus NBA 2K.
Hey man,
This is gonna
that's
be
it's gonna be crazy.
crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
Um. All right. So Fortnite versus Resident Evil.
See, I never played Fortnite. I know that's like a game
What?
that the kids play. I never played Fortnite. It don't look like a game I would like anyway. I just by looking at like my younger cousins play it. They'd be on it like for hours. But I did play Resident Evil.
Yo,
The
Kevin Knox.
Resident Evils.
Kevin Knox is looking for you right now, bro.
I mean, Resident Evil like best zombie game all time for me. Like from part one and then going through all of them. Like part four. I remember playing Resident Evil 4 for hours. Like I would literally stay up at 3, 4 in the morning and play that game. And it was truly scary. Like when you
Hey,
play that game, and it's like a part in the game where you're like in like some woods and it's at night and there's nobody around. And it was really like a horrorful game, and the gameplay was great, the graphics, the score for the games and yeah, Resident Evil, like the movie series was great as well. And yeah, I gotta go Resident Evil.
Fortnite is bonkers. I ain't gonna front. Fortnite is like Fortnite is so addictive, bro.
Mhm.
I legit lost and got killed like 78 times in a row and kept going back. Miss Mocha was like, "Hey, we going to the movies or what?" Oh, I'm sorry, you dressed already?
Right.
It's kind of like that type of vibe with it.
Hmm.
This one is I know Resident Evil has a following, bro. Fortnite is crazy. I'm gonna go with what y'all say though, since the majority is saying Resident Evil. I'm gonna go with Resident Evil. All right, here's the one I did not want to get to, but we have to.
Uh,
This is The Legend of Zelda versus Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, man. Call of Duty, like man, like I played Zelda 2, A Link to the Past. I remember playing that back. I had like the gold cartridge back in the day. Um, but Call of Duty was like it's still one of my favorite, game franchises to play, and so many classic titles from that franchise, Modern Warfare and World
Yeah,
of War, Black Ops. You
Black.
know, I have a couple of them that I kept, and then there's like I used to finish them and then just go back to GameStop and sell them off. But I did keep some of the titles. But yeah, like I have always have fun playing Call of Duty and different weapons you can use and the storyline. The gameplay was great. The only game in that series that I had a issue playing was Black Ops 3. For some reason, like when I was playing in the co-op mode, it just wasn't good. And even the storyline for that with like the soldiers turning into zombies and all that, it felt more like a Resident Evil game than a Call of Duty game. But the other games that I've played, Advanced Warfare
Wait,
was
you
good.
didn't like zombies?
I mean, that you see that started out like a side game, and then like they actually put it in the story for Black Ops 3, and I don't know, like the co-op mode was just. Oh, I never had an issue with the co-op mode until that game. Like all the other times I played with friends, the co-op mode was great for that one game. It was just off. There was times when it was like me and my cousin playing, and then he would get killed, and we wasn't syncing with the co-op mode, but all the other titles were great. Just like a lot of some underrated titles that was great too. Ghost was good as well, and I loved it. Still love the franchise. I think they are coming out with it too much though. It's like every year they coming out with one. Where before it was like a couple years we
Yeah,
would
yeah.
we would have to wait. But I still think it's a great gaming franchise though.
Hey, bro, I'm sorry, man, but I gotta stop right here because I just got a
Okay.
call. Usually this don't
All right.
happen, but I had a tech issue, and now I gotta fix my tech issue. I tried to jump
Yeah.
on it, but you know what though? We have eight. We have a Sweet 16 that
That's.
maybe we can finish up on later on today if
Oh
y'all
yeah,
have.
I'm down. Definitely down for that.
So I'm gonna try to get out of there, and I'm gonna try to get out of there in about an hour or so,
Okay.
and then I'll hit you up. Chat. I apologize.
All
We'll
right.
definitely look to continue. I'm out
Definitely.
of here, y'all. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Yeah, try. I didn't expect